Hello, everyone. This is Jim Ogrozinski with a weekly lecture video. I am beginning here in last week's discussion board, the note taker triad, and I think it's a good place to begin in understanding how to paraphrase, summarizing, in other words, working with the words of others and even quoting there. So it does connect into this week's assignment, which is the double entry journal. Now, I spoke to the double entry journal, I believe, in the screencast video, so I'm not going to dive too much into that particular assignment. Um, it's the templates there, the example, along with an older instructional video. However, I do want to take a moment and talk about quoting and how much to quote. Quite a few people actually mentioned in their posts last week about the 10 to 20% quoted material criteria that Ballinger mentions in the textbook, right? The source information that you've accumulated in your annotated bibliography toward your research topic is a gold mine in determining and informing your positions on your particular topic. So he does mention here, and I want to emphasize quoting selectively, grabbing meaningful quotes from your source material that actually advances your argument or your topic, and then providing a context. In another week or so, we're going to talk significantly about attribution and building the quote hamburger, either top context before and context after. And then also in a lot of different ways is just following up and working with a quotation and doing something with that quotation. What does it mean? How is it relevant? And even connecting it to the rest of the source information in your topic area in your research essay as we get through that particular activity. So if I want to scroll down a little bit in chapter 3, I'm going to get to the idea of the double entry and note taking. I believe note taking, here's the double entry section. I think is worth a read for everybody before you attack this particular assignment. So you look at it as a brief quote, just a brief type of reference here, which is on the left-hand column, the quotations and paraphrases. Be sure you're selective in what you're using as far as quotations or paraphrases, the information. It's important, once again, to work with the bibliographic information. You can grab those citations um, from your annotated bibliography. Here would be a good place to record the page number if you have page numbers, if your source is paginated. Include that in the double entry journal because can be used for further reference when you are begin writing the research essay down the road. As you will discover here, all of these skills and all the exercises that you are building now all are going to come together in writing the research essay. So the right-handed column would be a focused, fast write in response to the material. Okay. He talks about writing as long as possible. That might be a little difficult given the space in a double entry. And take two different sides to the information. You know, it's the doubting and believing types. Um, Reference that he makes in chapter 3 with Peter Elbow's method there on how you work with your source material. So I think that's really important there. Look at some of the questions that he offers here and begin that conversation because Ballinger does have what's called the unending conversation. Let me scroll back up here slowly and get to the one section on page 92, I believe it is. You might want to turn around and take a quick look at this unending conversation section here by a famous rhetorician that we all study in rhetoric and comp fields, Kenneth Burke. Your topics have been talked about, and there's been a conversation around your topics, all of your topics, as a matter of fact, before and after, and where do you fit in the middle of that conversation or fit into that conversation. So this is the idea behind the double entry journal. You want to be able to make the best of this. Take this information and use it to begin formulating your research essay draft that'll be up in another couple of weeks, I believe. So you're going to want to be able to take a good look at this particular activity as building up a source material and paraphrasing and or quoting for later use. I think that is the important note to take away from this is the later use factor in all this and how you want to engage with your source material. This is really what Ballinger refers to as writing in the middle. All right. So just to emphasize, it's a real good place to start using your source material. If you have any questions or issues about the double entry journal or its purpose, please send me an email. And as always, good luck.